Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Kristen Hess. I'm going to talk to you about math and 3-column notes. Specifically today, how can I learn math using Pearson's MyLabs Math? There's some tools in Pearson's MyLabs Math that are very helpful. The first one we're going to talk about is the Multimedia Library. The Multimedia Library is where you're going to find PowerPoints, video lectures, interactive exercises. Let me model where to find this. This is Pearson's MyLabs Math. Once you've clicked on your course, on the left-hand side of the course, you're going to look for the multimedia or video library. Sometimes it says video library, sometimes it says multimedia library. Click on that library and then refer to your course. Look in the syllabus, look in the folder for the week to see what sections you need to learn. So click on the chapter and section for that specific week. Click on Select All Resources and click Find Now. Once you do that, you'll scroll down. Notice that there might be 2 scroll bars. The first thing you want to do is open up the PowerPoint and print it. Once you've printed the PowerPoint, look at the multimedia textbook. See if it adds anything to the PowerPoint to help you understand things. Then look at the video lectures. See how that adds to what you have in the PowerPoint. Then look at the interactive figures to see how that adds. And then if they're animations. So use all of those to fill in as many details, examples, definitions, and formulas on your PowerPoint as you need to understand it. You can also take notes in a separate notebook instead of printing out the PowerPoint, but use these resources first. The next resource you want to use is the question help. The question help is found in the specific homework problems. The question help is beneficial because it gives you the option to see an example. It gives you direct links to the text and the videos for the section for that specific problem. And it gives you the option for similar problems after you've used up your 3 attempts. Each question has 3 attempts and then you need to click a similar problem. And it gives you the option to ask your instructor. To find the question help, you need to go back to MyLab Math. And you're going to look for assignments or homework. It could have multiple names. It might be something different besides assignments or homework. Notice that if the assignment is black, you might not be able to access it, but you might be able to review and practice without changing your score. It also might be black and give you the option to work on it for partial or late credit. If it's got a blue underline, then you know that you can access it for regular credit. Now this one I already started it, and you can see that there's a red X by the problem that I've already tried and got incorrect. When you click up on the problem, it'll pop up a window for a new problem. If you know how to solve it, then go ahead and put it in right away. You'll get 3 attempts. If you're having any formatting issues and you think it's right but it's not working, or you just don't know, go to View an Example. It's going to walk you through that same problem with different numbers. Additionally, it's going to show you the type of answer that you're going to be putting in. For example, in this one, you may be putting in just a line x equals 3, or it could potentially be y equals 3, or any number. And so when you put it in, you kind of know what you need to expect. If you get it wrong, they'll give you some hints. You can redo it and redo it again. If you get it wrong too many times, you can either go on and come back later, or you can try a similar question with different answers. Now you'll notice that I had already gotten a different one wrong, and it gave me more attempts again. The only time this won't happen is if it's multiple choice. So if it's multiple choice, you need to make sure you're careful. If there's videos that are directly related, it could be under the question help. It'll take you to the textbook. There's also the Ask My Instructor, which will send your instructor a link to this question, and you can tell your instructor what's going on and why you need help. My recommendation is that you don't be stuck for more than 15 minutes. If you're stuck on a problem and the multimedia library and the question help is not helping, find help. You can skip it and come back to it later. You can send your instructor a note through Ask My Instructor. If you have a TA, reach out to your TA. If there's free tutoring, you can do that as well. But don't be stuck for more than 15 minutes before you get help. There's multiple problems you can work on, so you can always skip and move ahead. Another resource is called the study plan. This is where you can have extra practice that's targeted towards your needs. It is typically not graded. The study plan you'll find on the left panel again. You'll click on it, and it's going to pay attention to where you used your most attempts and your most time and give you areas where you need to practice. You'll notice that I only have a few items that are recommended because I've only looked at a couple things. If you haven't tried a section, it's not going to give you any extra practice or extra quiz me options. So these are there for extra practice if you're struggling and want to know where it might be best for you to spend your time. The last resource that I want to share with you is the gradebook in Pearson's My Labs Math. The reason I recommend this is you can check your scores and you can review your correct answers, especially if you have any assignments that have limited number of attempts. To find the gradebook, go back to Pearson's My Labs Math and go to the gradebook. You'll notice here I've only attempted one assignment, so it only shows me one. It tells you your score on every assignment. It tells you how much time you spent on it and when you worked on it. If you are noticing that you haven't spent much time on an assignment and your score is low, then you probably need to spend some more time there. But if you spend a lot of time and your score is low, this is where you need to get some help from someone else. You can review it, and it's going to show you which questions are right and which questions are wrong. When you have unlimited attempts, this isn't going to give you a lot of information, but when your attempts are limited, when you click on it and the attempt option is passed, when the date is passed, you can click continue to review. And if there are limited attempts, it will show you what the correct answer was, and it will show you what your answer was so that you know what it should have been if you got it incorrect. So I'm going to go back to our PowerPoint and wrap this up. So in summary, Pearson's My Labs Math has a lot of resources. The multimedia has videos and interactive exercises, the book, PowerPoints, and they're all sorted by section. The question help you can find on the homework questions. You can view an example, you can go to the book, you can ask your instructor for help. Don't be stuck for more than 15 minutes on a problem. The study plan has extra practice if you're nervous about an upcoming test. It's a great way to target where you need to practice. And the gradebook is a good resource if you have an assignment like a quiz in Pearson's that has limited number of attempts. And so after you take a quiz, you can go back and look at the gradebook to see what you got right and what you got wrong and what the correct answers were. So now I want you to pause the video and look at these questions, and I want you to ask yourself, how are you going to use these tools? When are you going to use them? And get your calendar, phone, or planner out right now and open up Pearson's My Labs Math and mark the due dates in your calendar so you don't miss anything. When you're done, go to your course and check to make sure there aren't any other assignments. Are there discussions that you need to mark in the calendar? Are there quizzes and tests that are not in Pearson's that you need to mark in the calendar? Are there any other projects or anything else in your course that has a due date that you need to keep track of? If you have them in your calendar and you check your calendar regularly, it will be helpful. You may also consider putting an alarm reminder. And so if you have an assignment due at 11:59 on Tuesday, decide when are you going to do it? When is your time every Tuesday to do the work? And so set your alarm to go off at 11 in the morning and to remind yourself, right now I'm doing math. So thank you for your time. I'd love to hear how it goes for you.